What up, family? Welcome back to another video. This is gonna be a vlog, adventure style. I'm in the mountains right now. It is a Sunday afternoon. I woke up this morning and I knew what I had to do today, but the question was, where am I gonna do it? So I woke up and I thought to myself, I was like, well, I could stay here, stay at home. I could go to a coffee shop like I always do. Or I could pack my stuff right now, hop in the car and drive a few hours to the mountains and hit a coffee shop there and then camp and sleep next to a river. So I went with the obvious best choice, which was to come to the mountains. And I'm in downtown Brevard right now. I just finished up at a coffee shop, knocked out the tasks that I needed to do for today. Now I'm completely free and I am gonna head out and find a place to camp. Something cool happened while I was there at the coffee shop. So I'm sitting there, I'm doing my work, I'm knocking out my tasks, and one of the servers walks outside and he comes up to me, and I'm thinking he's about to tell me I can't film or something because I was in the middle of filming. And he's like, hey, do you want a drink? Somebody inside wants to buy you a drink. And they were like, they don't want to say who it is. I was like, what do you mean? Like an alcoholic drink or something? I didn't know.
I have someone wanting to buy you a drink, but they don't want to tell you. You want a drink?
They didn't want to say who it was?
No.
Well, apparently somebody wants to buy me a drink, and I don't know who. And he's like, no, anything you want. So I was like, well, sure, I'll take a coconut water. And because I had the thought when I got the coffee, I went in, I got a coffee, and I walked right outside and sat outside. But when I got the coffee, I was like, man, I should have just got a coconut water. Like, I don't want or need this coffee. Somebody wanted to buy me a drink. I don't know who it was. I asked everyone who walked out after that happened if it was them. They're all like looking clueless, like, nope. Yeah, I wish I would have got to meet the person who it was, but we did not. Anyways, we got all our tasks done. We're free. There is another reason that I decided to come camp and sleep outside tonight in the mountains. Not just because I wanted to come to the mountains and, you know, be by the river and be out in nature, yes, but it's February. It's freezing cold here in North Carolina, especially at night. It's below freezing. And personally, a part of my lifestyle by choice is I choose to put myself in uncomfortable environments. I choose to get outside of my comfort zone. I choose to do things that suck. Tonight, it's going to be freezing. I'm going to be alone in the woods, in the cold. And yeah, it's not going to be as comfortable as sleeping in my bed at home, which I very easily could have done. But we live, if you live in America, 2025, we live in the easiest, softest time period in the history of the earth. Literally the history of the earth. So much has changed in the past 100 years. Like, you used to, if you were cold in the winter time and you wanted to warm up, you used to have to go get wood, chop wood, and start a fire. You wanted light at night, you needed to start a fire. Now you hit the button on the thermostat, or you flip the light switch and boom, you got light. You wanted coffee, you had to grind up the beans, boil water over a fire and make coffee. Now you just, you know, press a button and 30 seconds later you got yourself a cup of coffee. So we live, and as humans, we're adaptation machines. We conform to the environments that we put ourselves, we become like them. And if we, in this modern time, especially as men, we should have a element of physical toughness to us. We should be physically tough. We should know that we're resilient. We should have a little bit of grit. We should know from experience that we're tough and that we can make it through difficult, uncomfortable things. So personally, I choose to get uncomfortable very often. And it's conscious, it's by choice to maintain a level of mental resilience, a level of toughness, a level of grit. So that's another reason I decided to come to the mountains today, sleep outside. I'm also in the middle of a fast, not eating, which does not make it easier. So I found the spot. I'm sleeping right there. You can see the cot. Found the campsite. Perfect spot. I've never been here before, but right next to the river. The adventure bag packed. I got some books. I brought a pen and a journal, and I'm just gonna go explore, read a little bit, talk to you guys, write a little bit, and just get some movement in. Oh, just almost busted my ass. This is exactly why we come to the mountains on days where we have nothing to do instead of sitting at home. Days like today, exactly what I chose to do today. Wake up, take off alone, go to the mountains, go on an adventure, specifically on a day where I don't have much to do, is something I try to do regularly, at least once a month. I just think about it like a soul day, like a check-in, to recenter, come back to what life is really about. The key questions that I ask myself and I reflect on these types of days is, number one is just like, am I living the life that I desire to live? Am I living in line with my beliefs and my values and my convictions? Or am I being conformed? Am I living a lie? Because personally, my biggest fear is getting to the end of my life and looking back and thinking, damn, I didn't even live the life that I wanted to. So that's the first question, is just, am I living the life that I actually want to live? If not, why? If so, great, good job, let's keep going. And then number two is, how am I genuinely doing? How is currently the health of my soul, of the innermost parts of me? How am I doing? And why? And yeah, those are the two questions. And I pray, I spend the day with God and myself. I walk, I talk to him, I pray, and I bear witness to him being with me as much of the day as possible. Now there's even hours at a time where sometimes I don't even bear witness to the fact that God is present with me every moment. I just stepped in the water and now I gotta walk back with a cold, wet foot. I could just sit right here and stare at this stream flowing through that tree for the next hour and be totally content. Third reason I came to the mountains today, number one, because I can. Number two, to sleep outside in the freezing cold. Number three, because I really want to find a black bear and befriend a black bear. You can call me crazy. I am crazy. I am weird. If you're not weird, you're not crazy. You're the freaking weird one. But I genuinely believe if I was to run into a black bear, I could get it to like me. I'm like that with animals. Call me crazy. I genuinely believe. And one of these days, one of these adventure vlogs, it's gonna happen. I'm gonna come face to face with a black bear. We're gonna dap up. I'm gonna make him some coffee. I'll hand him my guitar. I'll invite him back to the camp and we'll kick it. And he'll play me a tune and I'll sing along. Just wait on it. Back to the idea of purposely choosing to do things that are hard and uncomfortable. I purposely filled this backpack with books to make this walk, this adventure, more challenging and more uncomfortable. What do you think? Do I trust this? Usually I would climb a vine like this and trust it, but we're above like a 20-foot drop. And I've been trying to learn to just be a little bit less reckless and idiotic, because I am just constantly hurting myself. Like my ankle's hurt right now. Sprained my ankle trying to ollie a skateboard out of a back door and down a few stairs onto the back deck of a house. and my ankle's been hurt for a month and a half, and usually I climb vines like that, but I'm learning and I'm maturing and I'm becoming less idiotic. So props to me. Anyways, like I said, I'm fasting right now. I haven't had anything to eat in about 24 hours. So since this time yesterday, and yeah, I'm hungry. My stomach is burning and hungry, of course. It's uncomfortable. It's especially when you are hiking with a pretty heavy backpack and yeah, walking for a while up hills. It sucks. And it goes back to that intentionally choosing hard things and choosing uncomfort, denying yourself of your desires and getting used to not always having what you want and learning how to be happy when your desires aren't fulfilled. Fasting is something that I try to maintain as a part of my lifestyle consistently. I used to fast way more than I do now in this current season of life. I used to fast one time a week for 24 to 48 hours, and I did that for months. I don't know exactly how long I did that, but consistently once a week for months, and it was very beneficial for me in many ways. Now, of course, I do it for the physical benefits, yes, but that is kind of the bottom of the list in terms of the reasons why I personally fast. Yeah, it is fantastic for your physical health. It's great for the health of your brain and your entire body. Well, after about 24 hours, you tap into autophagy, which is the process where your body basically recycles all your cells and flushes out all of your dead cells. So yes, I fast for the physical benefits. However, the main reason that I fast is for the benefits that it has for just my soul, for my spirit. Learning how to be happy when all of my desires aren't being met. As humans, constantly there's some sort of desire in our life that's not being met, and we need to learn how to be happy in times when our desires aren't being met. And yeah, of course, I want food. I desire food right now, and I'm not eating it, but I'm happy. I'm content. I'm grateful to be out here in beautiful creation and just experiencing and tasting life as opposed to fulfilling my desires constantly. And a man who is a slave to his urges and controlled by his urges is a weak man. So it kind of goes back to the choosing to do hard things, choosing to get uncomfortable. I personally don't want to be weak. I don't want to be a slave to my urges. In the past, I've been addicted to things, and it strips you of life. Anything that you cannot put down and you can't go without, you're a slave to. That thing controls you. It sounds bad, but it is the truth. And personally, the biggest desire of mine is just freedom. I want to be free. So I practice things like fasting to train myself to not need anything, to not need food, to not be a slave to my stomach. So long explanation, but that's why I personally fast. Making my way back to the camp now. The sun just disappeared, and yeah, it cooled off a bunch, and it's just going to continue to get colder and colder. It was already cool with the sun, and then I got about 2 minutes until I can't see it at all over top of the mountain. So gonna get chilly pretty quickly, but just got back to the campsite. I'm gonna set up all my stuff while it's still light outside and just kick it here, play some guitar. I don't know, whatever. Hang out by the river. Thank you, God. Thank you. First bite of food, breaking fast with this apple. 15 out of 10. Bro, it's the small little simple things. A freaking apple. Back to camp. I'm going to start a fire right there and cook some dinner over the fire next to the river. cooked to perfection. A little bit burnt on the pan, but mini burgers with sea salt for dinner. I dropped this one in the dirt, so it's got a little texture to it. Better than any 5-star restaurant you've ever been to and you'll ever go to. Kyle's Mini Burgers by the river with Yahweh. So I was here earlier and a man pulls up in his truck right as I'm taking off on that adventure. And I hadn't taken anything out of the car yet to set up camp. And I had a conversation with the man. His name was Philip, amazing guy. And he took off. I didn't think I was going to see him again. I get back from the adventure. I'm here. I just ate. And he pulls back up in a different car. He was in an old truck from, I think it was a 76 Ford F-350. Crazy truck. And then he pulls back up in a red convertible. And he opens the trunk. I'm like, what is going on? Like, he's back. And he brought me supplies. That's the second time today somebody has given me something for free. He brought me charcoal because he came earlier when I hadn't taken anything out of the car. And he thought I wasn't prepared. He came with a sleeping bag. He came with a blanket. Like, what a freaking dude, man. He lives alone. He lives out here in the mountains. I had a conversation with him. He told me his whole story. Crazy life. Such an interesting perspective. And honestly, might have been the highlight of my day. Probably was that conversation with him. Meet my man Philip. So listen, Philip, somebody already gave me something for free today. I was at a coffee shop and somebody random bought my drink. And I don't know anybody there. And now I'm here. Philip drove past earlier and he saw me out there. He didn't think I was prepared. He didn't think I had firewood.
I didn't say that you weren't prepared.
Hey, you were surprised that I was. And he brought me some charcoal. 2 times in one day. First, somebody buys me a drink at the coffee shop. Doesn't say who it is. Second thing, my man Philip pulls back up and brings me some free charcoal to keep me warm for the night, to provide a little bit of warmth. I'm not even sleeping next to the fire, so it's not going to do anything, but it's the heart that counts. Got everything set up. Now, fire's cooking. I already ate. Bed set up. Now I just got the rest of the night to play music, shoot the bow, kick it with God, and yeah, have fun. Just be and enjoy this. It's crazy. That's a baby owl. A baby owl. That's wild. It's a good thing that the river exists because I just saw that baby owl, and if you know me, of course, I tried to follow it. And I grabbed a flashlight and just took off into the woods. And I'm pretty far away. I honestly don't know exactly what direction to head back in because I've tried following and finding the baby owl. And yeah, if I couldn't hear the river, I would literally just be dead in the middle of the woods right now with that no clue what direction to go. At least I know to go back to the river, which is good. But tried following the baby owl, could not find it. But crazy, I've never seen a baby owl before. So anyways, I have this hat. Thanks, Grandma, for this hat with a light on it that I got for Christmas. When she got it for me, I was like, I'm never going to use that. This is the most clutch thing I think I brought on this trip. Thanks, Nan. Really want to see that owl. Nope. Going down. Well, this is what you call luxury right here. Just a can of black beans and no salt because I use it all. Yeah, that's it. The most clutch thing about this beanie, thank you, Nan, is the ability to read and write outside at night instead of having to like hold a flashlight or a headlamp over top of my beanie. Thank you, Nan. Woo! I'm not sure how well you can see this, but My view is insane, the stars right now. So I fell asleep and I woke up and I thought to myself, I was like, I don't even want to check the time because it's probably like, I don't know, midnight. I checked the time and it's freaking 9:30 and I was asleep for, I don't know, I guess like 45 minutes. Great feeling. So now it's very cold. I'm indeed cold, but I'm chilling. I'm fine. I'm having fun. I am sitting here reading and kicking it by the fire, praying until I get really tired. Though I am really hungry and I just remembered I have berries that I forgot about. Oh, heck yeah. Life is good. Just some thoughts as I lay here. Things like this, you know, I'm out in the woods right now. I'm completely alone. It's cold. It's dark. This could very easily suck. However, things like this teach you, it's teaching me right now the power of perception because I am getting to choose moment by moment. Does this suck or is this freaking awesome? Am I super uncomfortable or am I enjoying myself? Does this suck or is this freaking awesome that I get to be outside next to a river right now in the cold, laying down next to a fire? Does it suck or is it awesome? Like, I'm getting to lay here and choose my perception. And I've gotten to a place where I'm just like, yeah, this is awesome. I'm enjoying the cold because I'm choosing to. I'm choosing to embrace the fact that being cold is okay and I'm alive. Things like this are so awesome. They teach us the power of perception. It literally, in every moment of our lives, we have a superpower of getting to choose how we're perceiving it. Choose the narrative that we tell ourselves. Choose the story that we tell ourselves. And right now I'm getting to practice choosing my perception. Got hair in my mouth. And choosing that this is freaking awesome and that I would not want to be anywhere else because it's an awesome experience. Rather than, you know, focusing on the fact that, yes, I am cold. Yes, my nose is freaking frozen. There's icicles over there on the log. And I could be laying in bed at home in a warm room, sound asleep right now, but instead I'm wide awake because I'm cold and I'm staring at the stars. But which is better? I love things like this. They teach us so much. Good morning. So I didn't consider the fact that my regular wake up time is anywhere between, and I'm crazy for this, I know, is anywhere between 3:30 and 5 a.m. 5 a.m. at the latest, and usually somewhere right around 4 a.m. is when I actually wake up. Unless it's like a Saturday and I was up really late Friday night, I'll sleep in till whenever I feel like getting up. But my regular wake up time is around 4 a.m. and it's about 4 a.m. right now, and I am wired. I slept pretty good. I had a crazy dream, and yeah, I just woke up and I'm like, dang, I'm wired. But I didn't consider the fact that the sun comes up in like 2.5 hours.
maybe a little bit more since we're in the mountains, and it'll be behind the mountains for the first hour or so. So probably around, if I had to guess, like 7:30, 8-ish is when I would even catch a glimpse of the sun right here. I'm gonna pack the car. The fire's completely out, and I'm very low on firewood. So I think I'm gonna pack the car, drive into town, and grab a coffee somewhere because I forgot my jet boil. Yeah, we'll see. But so the sleeping bag under my sleeping bag literally has ice on it. My pillow, which is wrapped in a flannel, also has mini frozen flakes of ice on it. And yeah, so does all of my things. So it was indeed freaking cold, but we slept and we're good, and it was fun. So I managed to get the fire going with the coals from last night. I'm not making a huge fire because I'm cooking the rest of my ground beef on a rock, and I don't want too much ash flying onto the ground beef, so I don't want big flames. But once that's cooked, I'm gonna just kick it by the fire. The first thing I do every morning, every single day, is I wake up and I spend some time in prayer with meditation. On a rock. Look at the slant. Shall we? Breakfast. One fat burger with literally nothing but salt, cooked on a rock at 4 a.m. Exceptional. What we truly need is so damn simple, bro. So simple. Woo! Back home now. Unfortunately, we had to shower and we no longer smell like a bonfire mixed with ground beef, because we have personal training clients this afternoon that I got to get to. And yeah, so I came back home. That last clip was me at the coffee shop that I went to. And I was sitting there and I was drinking my coffee, and slowly, one by one, a bunch of older men came into the coffee shop, probably about, I don't know, maybe 10 to 15 of them. And they all sat in a circle. So it's like, obviously there's a men's group going on. So I went over and I asked them if I could join in. And it was really awesome. I got to sit there and listen to a lot of their stories. A lot of them were talking about their marriages and different things that they're going through. And it was just really interesting to kind of join in on a different generation, hear all of their perceptions. And yeah, it was an awesome experience. I got to connect with a few of them. One of them has a son around my age who he connected with me. I got to tell them a little bit about what I do with my men's community, and he wants to get his son involved with Built for the Wild, which is the name of my men's community. And yeah, overall it was awesome. Anyways, really glad that I took that trip and decided to go on an adventure as opposed to staying here in my room or going to a coffee shop around here. I hope that you enjoyed this video. I enjoyed making this video. I never want to waste your time. I know this is like a 30-minute long video. I have enough respect for your time and your life that I never want to make videos that are pointless, that provide you with no value. That's why I include the clips of me talking about the things I'm learning, the things that I do that help me personally, about my experiences, my lessons, and trying to share things that I think are valuable to you and can help improve the quality of your mind and your life in some sort of way. So I know this was a long video. If you're still watching, I appreciate you. Make sure you like, drop a comment, let me know what you think. Subscribe, that really helps me out as I try to grow this channel and get these videos out to more people like us. Anyways, you've watched enough of me today. Go live, go let joy and gratitude be your weapon, and kick darkness straight in the face. I love you.